Hello, everyone, and welcome to my journal. This is take two. Take two. So, somebody let me know if you can hear me. So, welcome to my journal, everyone, and Happy New Year. Today is December 31st. Awesome, Rob. Thank you for letting me know that it works. So let's get this show on the road, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Lily, and thank you so much. And I can see all of your live chat. Actually, in the last journal, you guys, that was nothing. So no chat for me in last journal. So I've read through, and thank you so much all of you that were there chatting away. It was beautiful to read that. So thank you so much. So let's get back to happy new year, everyone. And so here we go. I'm going to look today for new year into this ball. Yeah, this is my ball, you guys, from my shamanic toolbox. I actually have 3 of this. And guess this is obsidian stone that I use in my shamanic work. So this is imagine you guys having 3 of those. It'll ground your ass so quick. Right? So anyway, welcome and thank you so much for being here. Caesar wanted to say hi. My darling Caesar said hi in the bad video. And he went away to sleep. He needs some rest. So anyway, you guys, Happy New Year from Caesar to everyone. And so I'm going to get today to some of these tools that I use and just going to share with you how I use these tools. So this is going to be my looking ball. Hello, Natasha. Hello, Miles. Thank you so much for joining me. Joe Powell. Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you. Deanne, thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Natasha. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. So let's talk about how we can consciously operate in this new year with this clarity that we are capable of now creating ourselves. And this is what I want to talk about is creating. And so when I talk about human consciousness evolution in the past, I talked a lot, you guys, about how does consciousness evolves and what happens in the stages of that. This is what I've attempted to bring forth in the past videos and things like that, and my other work that I've done. But anyway, what I talk about is that that this reality ultimately, and this is the ultimate, that evolution is indeed that correction timeline, because we are the creator beings in human form here in this reality. And so we create this reality. And so this is the awakening to that creator self is what the whole awakening process is all about. And realizing then, and this is the self-realization, and those that can realize that they are the creator being, then they can bring into manifestation this correction timeline or the evolution of human consciousness. Okay. And so before, as you guys might have heard me talk a lot about this, is I've talked about, I'm going to just hold it because I hold it a lot. So I'm going to talk about it, how to use your own individual path to predict your own future. And so this is kind of being in the now moment, yet having the perspective of the creator being. So this is why what I talk about, you guys, I talk about the being that creator being. And so the creator being is that shaman that is capable of initiating a process so it can manifest through the human mind, because the mind is the creator. Through the mind is because we are in the mind of it all. That's the ultimate creation. That's who we part of it. But then we're in this matrix, as many of people around the world call it. um, then what happens is in this matrix is that you have that recognition that you are, as you know, using the Bible, but I do like to use the Bible, have the recognition of being in the world but not of it. Is when you recognize that you are the creator. And then when you recognize that you are the creator, then what's the next step? That's the clarity. This is what I call it, clarity. And so then what happens is you start with your own reality. And you start to restructure your own reality so it is in alignment with your creator self within, meaning you start respecting your God within. And you starting to pay attention to the temple within, and you start going into the temple within, meaning, as I like to call it with Roald Boom in the past, is quantum resting, meaning going into that eternal field or eternal flame and rest in there in eternity. So that's basically what that is. And then, so then as I talk about human consciousness evolution and how it expands, then this is what that intelligence, right, um, of the mind, and then unfolds. The soul can then unfold through eternity, through that eternal pillar, like I've mentioned in the past. So anyway, so this is what I kind of want to touch on, but there's many different metaphors and many different ways you can look into predict the future. And so when I look into my balls, okay, I'm going to touch on this. How do you look for yourself? How do you work with anything like, hey, sunflower, happy new year to you too. Here, sunflower is 1111. Okay, you have there, you can look at it, it's 22. Okay, it's 22. All right. And so this is when you, as individual creator being, knowing that you're going through your authentic soul unfoldment, then you make the choice for the future, because you can now look into the past through your own eye. And this is why I look into the ball. This is my like universal eye that you know, that works for me, right? That works for me. So okay, you guys, let me get my I'm gonna have today, it's kind of, I'm gonna have a champagne glass. Champagne glass, everybody, but it's gonna be a virgin champagne, because I'm gonna drink sparkling water infused with some sweet lime thing. Lemon, sweet lemon. All right. So here's Happy New Year to everyone with my healthy champagne. Cheers, everyone. Oh, this is going to be a fantastic year, you guys. I can't even, let me put this thing because it can roll off, but they do have the little stands too. So let me put my baby on the stand so I can have some water. So I want to talk about from your own perspective, because if you're here, or at least my audience that I am talking to, I'm not sure who is here. There's some people that need to be here, so I'm sorry. You have to you have to suffer through these journals. I'm just kidding. I'm just poking at the guys, at the ghosts in my computer. I'm poking at them. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna get back to the fun of, so how do we look into, so this is my own, like I said, so this is my eye. If I'm gonna look for this, and then I'm looking from the perspective of how do I apply the gift of knowing who I am. I am the creator being in human form. And where had um, all the possibilities and probabilities in the universe, that you, and all the timelines and all of that, is that you know the answer to the question, why is it that you find yourself in this point in time, in the quickening period, in this plane of existence, knowing what you know, but also the ultimate knowing is to know why you're also in this reality or in the matrix, and what it is that you're here to do for the matrix. Okay. And I didn't hit this much, but I said, okay, we gotta wake some people up, but some people will protect their enslavement, because like I said, this is evolution, also is a process of liberation of human consciousness. So, and as I talk about, we're all connected on that level, on a higher level consciousness, on the, let's say, heavenly frequencies, or whatever you want to call. Some people call it a 5D existence. Okay, you can call it a 5D. 99% of what teachings about fifth dimensional existence is not real, because 5D is as within, so without. As simple as that. You are the creator being. You're a creator of your own reality. And so in 2020, I say we have the vision now. And this is what I'm talking about, is that not that the shamans around the world didn't have this vision. They did. All we are is we are experiencing their vision. We are living our ancestors' dreams. Have you realized that? We're living their dreams. Are we living them? That's the question that 2020 is going to bring, because it's not new. Nothing is new. It's just when we look back at all the mysteries of time. And this is why I call it 2020 magic or mystery. So let's talk about mystery part first. So the mystery about this period, the quickening period, or the coming of the new age, Aquarian age. And what does that mean for humanity? What does it mean for each and every one of you? Because now I am at that point, like I said, I'm talking to you, to every one of you, dear shamans. You are a shaman, meaning if when you have the recognition that you are not of this world, but you're in it, next step is, what is it that I'm here to do? What are we there to do? And so we're here liberate. We're here to liberate our ancestors, to liberate our bloodlines. By what? Stopping and ending in all timelines, in all dimensions, all the abuse of human consciousness. And that's what we're here for. And that invasion is here on the individual level. And this is what you have the recognition. And this is what I talked about in past so many years, how this mystery is going to unfold, because we're going to bring into conscious awareness, which is that stage of starting of the collective level healing. That, and then that stage, the collective level, is going to take 7 stages. So we are in it, and everything, as time is cyclical, it's actually, it's like a spiral, in fact. Okay, it's not locked in cycles, it's spirals. Okay, because we're and this is where they've stole the ascension. We ascend in frequency. That's all it is how, and this is what that Kundalini awakening is all about, is that we ascend our own mind through the activating of the Holy Trinity within us. Then we ascend into a higher level of thinking for self. And that's what know they self is mystery is all about. And so then when we step in, and this is what then accountability and all of that stuff. So this is when you realize that, oh, you're a cleanup crew in this reality. So you've gotta, you know, be you gotta be a warrior, because that eventually that other thing is when you look back. And so let's look at the looking back. And so when you start looking back, right? Because now to unfold into future, your true self, through your true potential and through your true mission, so you stay true to yourself and you stay true to the creation, to the creator, the ultimate creator that you are, eternal, eternal frequency. Okay, so when you operate on that, okay, then unfoldment can start on an individual level. And then you can see in your own reality, like I talk about in my sessions, how to restructure your own reality through restructuring your own thinking through quantum field, or gaining that ability, quantum ability. And this is that higher thinking. This is that Kundalini awaken, activated and working. And so that individual then can be what Bruce Lee became ultimately, right? And so just let's take Bruce Lee. He's my favorite. So it's like because he is a legend, right, in showing us that it can be attained individually in this reality, that it can be attained individually. We don't need to go back. For me, I don't need to go back and figure out what the heck happened in Egypt. Well, because the truth is right in front of our eyes. And you see someone that is an example, a living example, or someone who's attaining that enlightenment. And like many before him, Bruce Lee, Miles, you just so funny. I know it gets stuck in my head when you do that, Miles. And then I walk around half an hour after show talking like that. But anyway, he showed us right here. You don't have to. I mean, there's movies you can see. You can see. You don't need to figure out what happened 6,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. So, and this is, I hope that for me, this is, I hope, what these journals are also, will serve those that are watching them, that I'm doing it this and I'm talking about it. This is a journal, okay? This is like my own thinking of how, this is what, okay, this is what's going on. So I'm gonna look at my own personal self. So I'm gonna look for into the bowl, okay, for my personal self, okay? So I'm gonna say, all right, I'm going to mirror things, because I'm looking, to mirror. You mirror in energy, in all frequency, and all you connect, reverse, and all of that. But they're all of that because it's duality. You always work with duality. But because that 360 degrees, you can connect. And this is how the actual astrology and all of that stuff operates. It's how it reads the energy on the collective level. And that's why people that read astrology or predict things or say that this alignment means this, this, and this. All right. Like, we're going to have a really interesting one on Christmas of 2020, right? You guys know that one interesting one. But I'll keep it a surprise, as a mystery for those of you that don't know about that alignment. Christmas Day of 2020. So I'm going to leave that as a mystery. But so the mysteries and all of that stuff. So when I am talking about time being cyclical, but yet not locked in the closed up loop, okay? So because that's the matrix, is in closed up loop. But you still, and you're expanding and you're going up. So and this is why the cross is the way. The cross is the way, because you're going both ways. You are all of it. But anyway, so what we do, like for me, okay, so we're going into 2020, okay? So what I'm going to do for myself, how do I predict what energies are going to be available to me in 2020? What is it that I have to operate with in this reality? And what's available to me? Like I said, I have 3 of those. Those are from my toolbox, right? As a shaman. This right here is a tool. So now I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to look at those energies of 2020 as a tool for me, because I am authentic creator being, and my soul is one of a kind. There isn't anything like it. There's nothing to compare, because see, we're not in that, all of that matrix stuff. Everybody has to do the same thing to ascend. That's all inverted bullshit. It's just shit with a lot of sparkles thrown at it. That's all it is. So you create your reality. So I'm going to look at this. What energies are available? Let's start with simple one, numerology. Start with numerology, right? Like I just mentioned, 1111, sunflower. That's 22. That's Christ consciousness. What do we have? 2020. When you reduce the zeros, it's 22. 22, that's 1111. So that portal 1111, that all the fake it until you make it crowd was all excited about, where are they now? Time to open the portal. But who's going to be truly opening? It's you guys, those that are still here. So let's get to do it. So for me, this is how I'm going to look at it. So I'm going to look at those energies. And for me, those energies are very personal. 1111 is my numbers. Those are me. That's my numbers. 22. That's my numbers. So I'm going to me, it's going to be very personal. So for me, everything's going to be heightened. Okay. Then on that, you can overlay, talking about matrix is an overlay. Yes, it's an overlay. It's it's, think of it as like, okay, Deanne, think of it as this. You are the biological, when you're a creator being, you are the quantum, you have the capability, your brain, if you're awakened and connected, your brain is connected to that you, the child of God, as they said. So you're capable of processing that frequency, meaning you're capable of quantum, or you have your quantum ability here that you can consciously operate here, right? So what happens is, because we do have, and because we do have the AIs that they have, those are not created out of thin air. Those are just mirrored, inverted copies. So that quantum abilities that of AI, all it does is just reads the minds, and then it sucks in that information, and then it processes it, and it spits it out. And they call it, higher intelligence. But it sucks it from humanity. It can never take anything. It's empty in itself. It's just a reflected. It's like it can only read, like this computer. It can only read what people say into it to figure out what, and then put it together through algorithm. What it's just, and that's in the same way in that world, in spiritual world as well. So what you can do, but you can also, because you're in this 360 degrees and you understand, you can also cross-reference sort of energies, and you can use that to say, okay, like for me, all right, numbers still, okay, this is number 9 year. We are in the we're finishing a second decade, right? So, and it's number 9. Number 9 is finishing. It's finished, everything. A new cycle begins, meaning there is newness. There is new cycles. There's 0 in it. New cycle begins. So, how do you begin new cycle? And I know there's tradition. This is why I think, because where I was born, and Russians have this tradition on New Year Day. They say the way you spend New Year Day, this is exactly how you're going to spend your whole year. So you can like apply that and mirror that energy into that. And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys that what you need to do is you need to magnetize, meaning you have to create that energy. You got to magnetize your own aura with what you want to bring into New Year. So what you got to do is what you look into the past for. And let's say, okay, I'm going to look into this last 9 years, okay? And I'm going to close up. And what I personally do need to close up or finish up in this decade. So then I am free and I'm not dragging anything from past into my future. So it's almost like you can learn from your own self, but you're looking at your own self. So this is meaning you're looking at your past mistakes, your things, but you're looking from a different perspective. You're not looking at your past mistakes so you can put a bandage on why you feel depressed. You're looking at your past to how the experience of making mistake, or how the experience of what you went through had given you the ability to see your inner gift, how it pushed you to find you, or you looking at it from a different perspective. Because like I said, you can even take a negative energy, a very bad experience, and you can use it to your future if you know that you are self-generating and then self-operating your reality. And so this is what you do. um it's just you project tinfoil hatter. you know you come here every time and you just try to disturb me. Why? I know exactly why, but really, I mean, still, come on. Is your diaper full? You gonna complain? Come here, cry, mommy, my diaper full. My diaper full. Stop with that bullshit. Okay, you guys, back. Yeah, I don't need that shit in my reality. Complaining. Okay, so create your own reality. And this is what I'm talking. You are vibrating. What are you vibrating at? If you are crying, are you vibrating on a higher level? Are you vibrating on the possibilities that you can use and what you learned from the past and what had happened in the past? Your own faults, your own darkness. Now, how can you use that, knowing that darkness, how you can use it to elevate your life in future to where you reach the opposite potential of that darkness, where you reach the light of that experience, meaning you learn the lesson of it. Meaning you become the hero of your own self, meaning that the choices you made in the past, you're able to now examine them from your own central being, from accepting yourself as being who you are and not looking at yourself what you did wrong or what you did bad or what you did right or where did you got wrong or how did you got went wrong. It's about how can I apply that experience so it can catapult me to where I need to be and go 180 degrees. And you can do that, and you can crisscross your numbers, and you can look at that energy and you can examine it. Okay. Like for me, next year, 2021, the following after 2020, is going to be an interesting one because my 2012 was it was a huge peak for me that year. So in 2021 is going to be, so see how a mirror 21 and 12, you can do that too. So like for me, I crisscross those energy too and mirror them back forth. And so then it's like that, it becomes the point of that of that oh whatever, the word slipping, but anyway, you know what I mean. So you can hit the target, and so it becomes the tip of the spear, your spear. Okay. And so this is how you can hit then the target in that year. And so then what happens is, as you individually, then the mystery of this then is not the futures, then is not a mystery, but you are creating it, and you can see how it is created through you, how you feel, how you operate, how you vibrate, on what level and what's in your life. And when you do get the vision and when you do have the clarity, what are you seeing? Are you seeing what's around you? Because as within, so without. So a test of emotional resilience is no longer necessary. No, yeah, it's no longer necessary. And this is what I said, because there is no, There is no longer need for that. What we need to learn is how to, it's like a dancer, let's say someone who dances tango, right? It's painful to practice and all of that, but when you master it, yes, when you master it, then this is when you truly love the experience. You love that you've gone through that experience of learning how. Because without it, you wouldn't have the appreciation. It's so right, Miles. There is no crisis, just opportunities. And so this is what we can now use this year, and even numerologies to see. And so for us shamans, it could become a very magical year. Okay, so you can create a lot of magic this year, you guys. So and so then your intent for collective for this year that you're going to be, wishing for at that 12th hour is should be then, and then so you structure your intent that way. All right, to where you intend the best on the collective and what you've experienced through this, 11. So create that 1111 portal. So you got to magnetize your aura with that energy, with that frequency. And so you have to basically vibrate that. How you get there? I don't know. I got 3 of those. So far, I mean, everyone find your own tools, find your own whatever it is. I will not dictate anything, what works, what doesn't, because it's so individual for each shaman. And so I hope you guys enjoy this new year, because it's going to be a really magical one. Because now, knowing that a lot of you out there and a lot of you here that I appreciate so much, and I love every one of you, and thank you so much for writing comments, and I don't always comment back, but when I do, I really appreciate the comments, because you guys, it gives me, you sharing your experiences and sharing your own things that happening with you. I so appreciate that, because it's huge confirmation. And many of you, and like I said in the beginning, we're living our ancestral's dream. Okay, and this is why I'm so excited to be incarnated in this time, because I'm doing this for my whole bloodline, for everyone, to the very beginning, because it begins here and it ends here. And so that cycle of abuse ends right here. I took took the responsibility for myself to end it with me, for all of my bloodline, for all of humanity too. And so that was my intent. So with this is then what you do is, with this, knowing this and knowing that ability you have now, boom, you create magic. And your magic, the one that many of you are here, like I said, that I want to say, I want to send all the gratitude that I can master to every one of you that is still alive right now, that's been doing your rituals, doing your ceremonies, doing your prayers, doing your crying, doing whatever it is that you needed to do to stay true to that mission to end the cycle of abuse. And you worked and you worked and you worked in spiritual world. This is the year that you can see your magic start to bloom. This is the time. And this is what I'm saying, that for those of you that's been here for a long time, decades, okay? And you can look at the past decade. Look at what happened with in 2010 and how things moved on collective level. And so now we're at that point to where shamans around the world, all of you around the world, because you're sharing all these confirmations. It's happening. We're doing it in the spiritual level. We've been doing it for a very long time. The first time I had a vision of um, of this time of the quickening period, and like what ultimately was going to happen on that level, um it was like 40 years ago. So it's been a long time for me waiting for this time, but the magic of it that is going to be unfolding is that our prayers are being answered, our rituals are taking hold in material world. It's and we'll see our reality restructuring, and that's the magic of it. But for those of you that's been creator beings and doing it all around the world, that's why we will dance, because we'll see the fruits of that work. So, and maybe not so much the fruits yet in 2020, but we'll start maybe flowers. Well, we'll see. Maybe some fruits. But the season, and this is what I talk about, is when I talk about when you truly, as a shaman, and you go into the winter and winter solstice intentions for collective human consciousness and all of that, you dream up the spring, meaning you bring in that energy, you look into that and you say, what is it the best potential, and then you magnetize your own aura with that. That's all you ever need, because once you truly recognize who you are, you are who you are. When you truly recognize that, you know that you are that important to you, because when you truly love yourself, you know that that recognition is what I said. It gives you that ability to have the perspective of the whole, because you are part of it. And then in turn, then whatever it is that you truly can change about your own state of being, and how you can truly do the ultimate best for you, then in turn you're doing your ultimate best for the whole of humanity. Because like I said, it only takes 10%. And that's the peak for all of for collective human consciousness. And then we're going into another stage of evolution, and this is going to be a beautiful age, you guys. So celebrate this 2020 like we never celebrated before, and dance like you never danced before. All right, everyone. That's my wish for everyone. And may you find in you the best for you. Look into your own eye for the future. Only look there. Inquire within. There is no quantum restructuring, quantum healing that will come from external. You are in charge of your reality. So generate that what you desire, but not a wishful thinking, because once you truly awake, you know the accountability and the responsibility that lies on the shoulders of creators and the shamans around the world. And this is why they burned us at stake, killed us every time they could, and all of that stuff, getting rid of us as soon as they can. Because why? Because you can't shut somebody up. You can't imprison a soul that attain self-liberation. You can imprison a soul that have attained self-liberation. And those that tell you that you can pay a couple of bucks and they'll get you there, same shit, different date. And so that won't stop either. So they'll try to create a mystery out of New Age just to trick you and all of that stuff, you guys. But you, my shamans around the world, I hope you dance and dance beautifully in this new year. Enjoy this time. I'm gonna have a beautiful new year with my family here, my tribe. Oh, C's wants to say hi. Zizi. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay. Well, you guys, I didn't want to go for a long one here, so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I appreciate this 2019 for me was amazing. So I'm finishing up a lot of things and I'm moving on a lot of different sort of projects and things that I'm going to be doing in 2020 is going to be a little bit different. I'm not sure how long in 2020 I will be able to do these journals. I can tell you that for a few more months, I'm sure I will be able to. So this is going to be great next few months for me, and then things might change a little bit. So I don't know how much I'm going to be available, but I want to move into a little bit of different things, and I want to focus a little bit more. And this is probably going to be the time where I'm going to be taking my studio out on the road and things like that. So it's going to be a busy time for me in the spring. But for right now, things are extremely beautiful and bright for me. And I this last 10 years been, oh, wow. It's been so much growth done. It's been, gosh, I'm sure I've grown so much. But I just love where my life led me. And so here we go, another decade. I'm going to dance into it, and I'm going to dance all year, you guys. It's going to be beautiful for me because that's what I want. I want it to be beautiful, and it is already beautiful. And it is magical because I'm living exactly what I wanted. It's just like amazing. I get to paint. I get to do all these things, that creative things right now. And it's just been all this time, you guys, all this time that I've been getting there. But if I got here anytime sooner, I wouldn't be ready for it at all. So it's been so amazing and so beautiful that I just, just so excited for the future and for our evolution and for the beauty that is human heart. And that's what's dancing, the human heart. And so thank you so much for all of you. And I learned so much from all of you. And I so thank you for being in my life, for being the teachers that you are to me. It's been so incredible, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you because I feel you in here. I feel the love, and let's expand it. Let's do the fireworks of that love in 2020. So here's to 2020, everybody. Happy New Year. Woohoo!